room, even those who contributed to the drafting of this bill, in refining and implementing this act to ensure that our classrooms remain spaces of safety, equality, empowerment, and that every Liberian child can learn, grow, and contribute to the nation's development without fear of being taken away from the classroom to go and be a victim of this practice that we're all talking about and trying our best to put a stop to. Thank you.
So thanks for joining me. My name is Prince Moba. We are here. This is a consultative review of the draft bill submitted by President Joseph Boakai to the legislature to the person to ban all harmful traditional practices against women and girls. So my name is Prince. I'm here. This is the joint committee's meeting. The Committee on Gender, the Committee on Education, and the Committee on Health. Also, other civil society organizations are here. The Women Legislative Caucus. This is a chair, Honorable Ellen Atare, making a statement.
Okay, so on behalf of the Women Legislative Caucus, I want to give you words. We have heard the issue of GM for so many years, but I can say clearly that it is a step forward, a giant step now, considering that it was pronounced by our President of the Republic of Liberia. It shows the willingness and how intentional he is to have spoken on an international platform about this practice. While we are cognizant that we do not want to get rid of our tradition, but we also need to ensure the safety of our people. So just to add our voice to the many voices, we are open to having these discussions, leave our traditional leaders behind. We always need to have them on board as we are doing now. We have to take it to the districts, to the counties, so that we all can participate and know the way forward. So I just want to say thanks to every one of us for being here today, and we will continue to work together to ensure that we all live in peace and harmony and continue to enjoy our cultural practice, but in line with the well-being of our citizens. Thank you.
She's Representative Ellen Atore. She's a current chairperson of the Women Legislative Caucus of Liberia. She's making a very brief remark there. And
so at this point in time, I'd like to recognize the legislative committee, members of the joint committee. I'd like to start by recognizing the chairperson on health, the Honorable Judy Fatoma Wia. I also like to recognize the chairperson on judiciary. That's Honorable Johnson. The opposite chairperson on gender has been in the limelight and speaking back to back. And most of our honorables that are seated, we also put our hands together for the honorables, please. Honorables, please be up your hands and let's go our honorables to the entire legislature. Yeah. So the Committee on Education, the chairperson of Education too, Royan Fomo, he represented his speaker this morning. At this point in time, without wasting time, I'd like to recognize for our keynote presentation on protecting culture and voting rights the Minister of Justice, the Honorable Councillor Ed Oswatwe. Then his representation is here, his Deputy Minister. I think people is making this bill more of a women kind of bill. So they're sending the females to represent. So it's no secret to know that the Deputy Minister is representing the Minister of Proper Justice. So at this time, please put your hands together as we welcome the representation of the Minister of Justice to give us our keynote address. Keep clapping, keep clapping.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Keynote is supposed to be very long, but this one's going to be short. So, I'm Councillor Korea Konova, Deputy Minister for Administration and Public Safety, and I represent Councillor N. Oswald Tue at this time. Someone said a lot of women are coming forth. Of course, if you have Billy Goat, you should be the one talking Billy Goat story. So as we're talking about female genital mutilation, I think the people that are really supposed to be talking about it obviously should be females. So it's a real opportunity to be here and to see that after many years of talking about this issue, we're now taking actions. Congratulations to all of those that are making this happen. So representing the ministry, which obviously if this law comes into effect will be responsible for prosecuting violators. We've made it our business to kind of like peruse it from beginning to end. And we're glad to be here to look at it together with everyone else. As soon as I sat down, I started writing in what I saw was already my observations in the proposed bill. So like I said, it's going to be short, and it is short. It's a real opportunity being here today to be a part of this process. A process that does not take away from our constitutional provision that talk about positive Liberian tradition, but a process that will enhance the well-being of girls as well as maintaining what is really positive for our culture. Thank you very much.
All right, so we are here. We try to have an exclusive interview with the chairperson on gender, Representative Maverick Smith, as she spoke earlier. We have an excerpt of that we will be uploading later, but we still want to ask some more questions.
That is a direct message, and if you listen, it was succinct and strictly to the point. And I believe that's what we like to hear. And I'll tell you something, it is more of action nowadays than just voice. So the Ministry of Gender, the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, and now the Ministry of Justice. And I like the fact that she stated that they are going to be the one implementing and enforcing this particular aspect of the law. And if they're collaborating and prepared, then I think we're moving forward. With this, we'd like to enter, we now move from our segment of welcome remarks, political statements, and move to the actual purpose for which we're here. I will move to our first section. Remember I said the first section is going to be sent to the second. As per our agenda, the second is going to be moved to the first. So I'd like to welcome the Action Aid Liberia to give us shared story, to present on shared stories of survivors, and also the traditional women message from rural Liberia. So we move to Action Aid. Hand of applause for Action Aid. They're going to be working the time for 45 minutes max.
I don't think I will reach that time, but thank you all so much. It's an honor today to be here representing Action Aid Liberia. I'm actually representing my country director, Madam Elizabeth Bad Johnson, who should have been here with you all today. So I stand on all existing protocols and I recognize all honorable legislators present. I have a very short presentation. These are stories that we've gathered from the communities and some actions that we have taken towards this. So just to let you know that as you are at the legislature working on legal instruments for us, we are in the community supporting into the process of providing understanding and information to the communities we all serve. So my name is Willette Medicine Action Aid. And you will be supporting me. So Yeah, so we just looking at a short presentation on what we need to improve the protection for women and girls in Liberia. So why do we need a law? Most of the time when we go to the community, we get some of these questions, especially from the local authorities and the stakeholders who are the custodians, who see themselves as the custodians of the law. So we have put together some short documentary from Voices at the Margin, just to share with you that this is not just coming from us. An Action Aid. An Action Aid will work through community structures. We are not the one that are going to take the message. The Minister of Gender said a very key thing about who are the messengers, who are the ones to carry this message. So we'll be hearing from some of the stakeholders from the community that carry the message. Let me just move to play this. So,
All right, so we want to say thanks for joining us. And so this is Focus on Liberia. This hearing, a review of this document has to do with enacting a law to make FGM, that is a female genital mutilation, associated with the traditional practice, to prohibit that, to bind it. And that is a process starting here. The law is before the legislature now. This is a presentation by Action Aid Liberia. So it's a PowerPoint presentation, and we will try to get this presentation and also share it on our page so that we can read.
Childbirth, now we're talking about the maternal mortality rate of Liberia. Liberia is one of the countries with the highest maternal mortality rate. 742 live births out of every 100,000. So we, as a country, need to reduce that. It has complications also. And last thing, psychological trauma, especially for those who are forcefully adopted. Representative from the Ministry of Education spoke about it. Girls in the rural areas are left behind due to the interface of the good school with the formal school. Now when we move into some communities, we see that girls have left school after school sessions. Now they have moved themselves to the good school. And just because of the cultural practices that are ongoing there, how does they have us or in Liberia? It leads to the high dropout rates, and after that, what next? Early marriage, teenage pregnancy, and also the dependency syndrome. Because if you have girls who are not empowered and educationally, they depend on their spouses and their husband for some hours, they will end up just becoming housewives and not taking that bold step to move forward and achieve the greater aspects of their life. Our minister, the Minister of Gender, talked about the commitments that we have made internationally, the treaties that Liberia has signed. We committed to the Maputo Protocol. She talked about the AU and other protocols as well that tells us about eliminating harmful traditional practices. So we need to consider those instruments and see now how we as the people of Liberia can put in place measures to support these instruments to implement and have them implemented through our own processes. And there are a lot of challenges along the way. Despite these treaties, we have, of course, the lack of legislation, weak enforcement. I remember a story where we have some girls were adopted in my County, even civil society actors that went to go provide support, because we work in a very high-risk community because of this issue. We don't have no protection measure or so. After the girls were adopted, a forcefully initiated went to go do some negotiation, and it led to threats on ourselves. Some communities you go to, they just see you differently. We all need to put in measures to protect us as activists, to protect us as even the community women, the women who have become change champions today. They too, in some communities, are getting resentment. They are being pushed aside from some certain discussions or so, for which we all need to work on this to have a positive society. This is just less than 3 minutes or so. We can look at this. This video was put together by consultants, by us community people working in the community, and also with support from the Ministry of Gender as well. So we just want to share some of the reasons to address the board. Why do we need a law? Let's hear some of the forces and some of those reasons that when we are making our decisions, and you can think about these things coming from different stakeholders, coming from the community, to inform our own judgment and actions. So it's a short video, just 4 minutes.
As a legal counsel for the Ministry of Gender, we know what we go through with women daily in terms of complaints, in terms of issues. So we need this law to prevent more women from going through that psychological trauma of passing through FGM and their husbands are having issues. And we need a law to also prevent our girl children from being in formal school to go to school, and as a result of that, girls' enrollment in the rural part of Liberia usually will reduce. And we need a law because our people have to understand now that the original intent of that component of our culture no longer exists in modern day Liberia.
The need of law to protect us, to do more awareness, and also if the law is there, people will be scared to send their children in the bush because they will be governed by law. We need a law for FGM because the FGM will no law there, the police will not be extreme. But one law there, they will not have to send their children in the bush. But one law there, nobody will not try to send their children in the bush to do anything. Yes, I am happy with the law. We need a law. You understand? When we're there, so we need awareness, we need the empowerment to empower us to go talk to our friends. I will ever help our children to go to school. I will ever help us to do our business. I will make them get money involved. When I empower, we're not going to get any other thing. So we need to empower us. So the senior bush is a tradition. So what makes it so bad? It is not without all. It is not.
It is very harmful.
Okay, so that's harmful traditional practice.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
So for our culture,
it is not good.
So what do you want us to do, or the government to do, for anything you think we can do to help?
Yes, this is what I'm saying, to stop the mothers are taking their children.
Because of what?
Alright, so a little bit of technical problem there. So it's a story from for survivors of FGM, that is a female genital mutilation, and also but the light went off. I think the hotel management is changing from power 1 to power 2, or generator 1 to generator 2. This is Liberia. The electricity problem hasn't been solved, so we still have challenge with electricity. But that was a short video produced by Action Aid Liberia. They were some part of Liberia, rural Liberia, having conversations with survivors of FGM, and then they are explaining their own story. And so we will be going off. We will come back shortly because the place is no electricity for now. But my name is Prince, and so like I said, for the onsite, this is a consultation review of the draft bill presented by President Joseph Boakai to the legislature, seeking that the legislature enacts a law that will bind harmful cultural practices associated with the Sunday society in Liberia. We all are aware of the FGM aspect of the practice of that society, and then we've been talking about it for long, from the time of former President Salif, and now it's Boakai who has submitted a bill, and the Minister of Education is here, the Minister of Justice is represented.
It's on, yeah. Yes. Yes, ma'am. All right.
So shortly we're going to be going off. Shortly. I just want us to get the conclusion aspect of this. Yeah. The conclusion of this.
In the communities, like we need to use the young executive owners, because every time we have women in the delivery room, we will choose those challenges because they went through FGM. We have women coming to us with challenges around having menstrual bleeding because they went through FGM. I think now is the time to get Liberia women to promote the health and Liberia women and well-being. And there can be no other better time than now to invest in the health of Liberia women by banning FGM completely in Liberia. We are God to present women against FGM. Lord will give the protection and recourse for FGM survival.
Our opponent, you can put a running their back, and so much they do your defeat. And as I'm speaking to you now, I have my own saving group. And this saving group will receive the money, Napa and Sila. They brought the money so that we can help ourselves. We gave our first saving. We started with 135,000. And we saved through our last year. We were saving 500 LD per month. And at the end of the year, we were able to get 55,000 for our interest, and we were able to get 40,000 for our social fund, and we were able to get 125,000 for our bus. And the money that was given to us, the money we took it from the money that we have saved, and we were able to share our own money. Because the money they gave us was never wanted to share it so that it didn't go away from us. We still maintain our 750 USD they gave us that we are taking